So, to whom it may concern, it has been a while since I've uploaded. It's been like a few months, and there are reasons for that. Laziness is one of them, and the second reason is that while I was working on commentaries, I was actually working on one before I left for a trip to Japan. I kept on having to go back and redo the script and re-record voice clips because I either added something or didn't like the way something came out, and all that stuff just took up more and more time. And then third reason, I was working on personal projects of mine, just hanging out with friends, playing CS:GO, or meeting them in real life. That's another thing too. And in advance, sorry that I'm kind of quiet. I just got back from my Japan trip and I am still jet lagged, so right now I am running on 2 hours of sleep. I was only able to sleep 2 hours last night before my mind decided, oh well, since we're still in Tokyo, which we're not, I'm just gonna make sure you stay up for the entire night. And here I am now after hours of just walking around the house and trying not to wake everyone else up. And speaking of the Japan trip, it was a hell of a lot of fun. I got to walk around, see some temples, shrines, just walk around the city. I didn't get to talk to too many locals since, well, my Japanese was kind of, or at least my conversational Japanese is quite poor because I don't really talk to a lot of people. I was trying to go to these meetups where basically native Japanese people who don't really know how to speak English that well, and people like us who are natively English speakers but don't know how to speak Japanese that well, get together and basically it's a language exchange. You try to help them out with their English and help them practice, and then they help you out in the second half of the program, where they speak Japanese to you and you are supposed to respond in Japanese as well as you can. And due to my social ineptness, I get incredibly embarrassed whenever I mess up when I'm talking, when really I shouldn't. But that's a whole nother story that I might cover sometime in the future. Anyways, with the whole Japan trip, I've got some, these cool little stories. I might just compile them all into one video since they aren't really that long. So, yeah, be prepared to see or hear those in the near future. But anyways, I'm still pretty jet lagged, so I've actually put off opening my Dojin albums since I want to be in tip-top shape to listen to them. And I'm giving the stories the same treatment. I'm gonna wait till I'm fully recovered from my jet lag, and then I'll start working on scripts and recording. But as of now, I'm just gonna, give you guys a little filler video. So this story is based off of a memory which I recalled last night when I was trying to fall asleep but couldn't due to jet lag. And it revolves around the now defunct YouTuber Simple Minds. So Simple Minds, by the way, Simple in Simple Minds had a 1 as the I, just in case you want to look him up. But you won't find much since his channel is deleted. But anyways, Simple Minds, I guess you could call him the Leafy or the Pyrocynical of 4 years, 5 years ago. I'm not sure how long. He basically was a gaming commentary channel. He just went over random stuff. It was very mature content, which makes me question why I was watching that kind of stuff back when I was like in grade 8. I'm pretty sure he did talk about, I guess, sex and stuff like that, and I guess just topics based around sex, and just some other stuff too. I remember he did talk about Call of Duty a little bit. He was a Call of Duty commentator, by the way, but I never saw too many of those videos. So Simple Minds had two people he would always sort of talk with, and their YouTube names were EightThoughts and Ricky Chops. And by the way, Ricky Chops is now defunct as well. The channel's gone. I couldn't find it anywhere. I could only find videos that featured him. But EightThoughts is still alive, which is surprising since it's been so long. So basically, Simple Minds was basically just a run-of-the-mill Call of Duty commentator who occasionally got together with his friends, 8Thoughts and Ricky Chops, and they just talked about, sexual stories. Actually, a series called Sexual Stories, where basically they discussed their sexual adventures with their wife or whatever, like random girls they met in high school or something, and they would just talk about it, laugh about it, and it was rather enjoyable despite the fact that I probably didn't understand half of what they were all saying throughout the videos. You can actually find those sexual stories episodes by just typing them in or something. They're still up. But this story will be focusing on the silverback of YouTube, Simple Minds, or at least the former silverback of YouTube. And yes, I actually did remember his self-given title of the silverback of YouTube. I'm not sure why he called himself that. I'm pretty sure it's just because he had a silverback gorilla as his YouTube profile picture. But that's just extraneous detail. I'm pretty sure he mentioned something else about football or something. But I don't know. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. It's been too long. Anyways, in retrospect, Simple Minds was pretty much just a run-of-the-mill Call of Duty commentator, just like the more popular ones at the time, like X-Jaws or T-Martin. But he was able to differentiate himself through his style of videos, I guess. He swore a lot, and he talked a lot about mature content, and I guess people just sort of gravitated toward him, including me back in the day. But a year or two later, after I discovered his channel, he shifted his content away from his original video style, and he wanted to try and make videos that were more sort of, I wouldn't say family friendly, but at least more appropriate. He wanted to make sure he didn't swear at all, and he wanted to talk about more appropriate content. And the reason Simple Minds implemented this change was, if I'm remembering correctly, was so that he would be able to show his son his older videos and not be embarrassed by all the swearing and all the sex talk and stuff like that. And back then when he made the change, I didn't really mind so much. I actually enjoyed his new content a lot. And in retrospect today, I think he made the proper choice in saving himself the embarrassment and possibly leaving a good impression of himself on his kid. And finally, things took a turn for the cryptic. Around the final sort of moments of his channel before he closed it, he was talking about ghosts and stuff like that. And finally, his final video, which I remember at least, he was talking about how I think recently when I say recently, I mean in that time frame, I guess one of his relatives passed away, and his son, who was pretty young at the time, was able to see the ghost of that dead relative, and I guess the ghost, I think he said the ghost said, "I love you," and just sort of saying that their final words, and it was pretty cryptic. And then after that, his channel got closed. He closed it himself, and I remember he opened it up again under the same or similar name, but then he shortly closed it again afterwards. I was never really sure what happened. I never bothered to ask 8Thoughts or Ricky Chops about the whole thing. I just kind of let the thing slide. And then that was the last I ever heard of Simple Minds, a rather run-of-the-mill, in retrospect, Call of Duty commentator who sort of had a very cryptic ending. And that's the end of the story. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and like, favorite, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And I'll try to get some more videos out as soon as I can when I'm not busy working on my own projects, and when I'm not busy enjoying all the Doja music I have, despite the fact I have it all downloaded on my computer long before, since I had to pirate them because Doja albums aren't sold here in Canada. But anyways, I'll try and do another video as soon as I can, the one about the stories, as soon as I get freed from this horrible jet lag. Anyways, I will see you guys later.